8-year-old Beckett Johnson loves monarch butterflies.
I like all kinds of colored ones. I love that all the patterns they have. They have so many patterns of colors, red, all kinds.
He loves learning about them, catching them, and even giving each one a name of their own.
Monty, Lily, all kinds.
Beckett found monarchs like Monty and Lily out in the garden, a place he discovered a passion for with his grandma Cheryl.
Ever since he was little, Grandma's babysat him. So they have spent a lot of time together. So once he got to be a toddler and he could start to toddle around and walk, they've been outside exploring.
Right here.
With our own boys, being a teacher, I did not want them going to school thinking, where does the potato grow? So I always had them help me. So they knew it grew in the ground and just realize where their food comes from. And these little ones too, they pretty much know where it comes from.
Obviously, Grandma's not just teaching Beckett, she's teaching Piper, and they're spending countless hours out exploring together. When they found the milkweed outside, we noticed that he could really find those little caterpillars under the milkweed from looking up underneath them.
To look on the milkweed, to look for caterpillars. We look for the nibbles.
One caterpillar turned into raising that one in a jar, letting it out and watching it take off.
I think it was the first one. We actually sat by the garage for hours, and we had 2 chairs. We had pop and we snacked, and that first one did not leave. It just sat on a flower.
Once they did one grew to 2, 2 grew to 3, and 3 grew to 4, and pretty soon we had a whole counter full of caterpillars in jars.
She could have gone my leg. He is, but she isn't. They have 4 stages that they start as an egg and they grow to be a caterpillar. And then they grow to be a caterpillar to a chrysalis. And then after the chrysalis, they start to come out and then pop out as butterflies. Like when we first started, we just looked here at our grandma's house. But then we started to look in our backyard since there's milkweeds back there. And we started to look back there and we keep on finding butterflies. More and more back in our backyard.
If one was coming out of the chrysalis, quick, come over, gotta see it. Or we'd go up there and then share that time.
They always are calling each other back and forth and going back and forth between our 2 houses, and it's fun to watch them bond over something so beautiful, just like their relationship has been.
That's why they're little.
The relationship between the 2 and the bond they shared over monarchs became even more important earlier this year.
Beckett was in the hospital. He was diagnosed with pseudohypoparathyroidism 1B, which is very rare, we find. So essentially, he can't really control his calcium level in his body on his own without some medications.
He was in the hospital 17 days, and that was very scary. For me, thinking what's going through his mind, because children can sense things that you don't even know they can sense.
Thankfully, the medications are out there and they can help him control that. But it was a tough time in Beckett's life to be cooped up, taken away from his environment of his grandma, his school, his friends.
He was on me! Grandma, he was on me!
Yes, I saw that.
When we finally got to be back home, it was so nice for Beckett to be outside and be able to be home with Grandma and be in their own environment, back to exploring and getting back to be a normal kid again. They love to explore together. They're truly each other's best friends.
Let's go! Bye!
Beckett,